Lecoutere, Science Officer at the Gender Platform. I'm going to talk about the digital divide and the role of inclusive extension services. The first slide here is work by Jae-Wool Koo by IFPRI. Digital technologies may actually widen the gender divide. Women's digital connectivity lags behind men's. Women are less likely to own mobile phones and they're less likely to be connected to the mobile internet. There's also evidence that shows that women and men may interact and experience digital technologies differently. So also design matters to bridge the gender digital divide. The second slide here is work by Carlo Azari and Gianluigi Nicchio. So based on data for Malawi, Tanzania, Uganda, and Nigeria, they show beneficial effects of extension services on agriculture income and profitability per unit of land and labor if both sexes are involved in the extension. And overall, they find that flood shocks negatively affect agriculture performance, and they show that there's a positive effect of drought, which is a bit surprising, but on the one hand, drought is a big word, but because it's only a 1 standard deviation from a 40-year average. And then maybe in these more humid agroecologies in these countries, a bit drier weather was actually good for agriculture production. Then the effect of inclusive extension in case of flood. So when women are extension beneficiaries, the negative effect of flood on agriculture income is mitigated by 19%. There's an opposite effect in case of droughts. And there's some hypothesis for that. So men may more easily switch to other jobs when there's droughts. And on the other hand, women are more likely to use more labor when there's droughts. So that would explain a reduced labor productivity. Is work by myself, David Spielman, and Bjorn van Kampenhout. So there's increasing evidence that ICT-enabled extension approaches are not equally effective for all farmers. For women farmers, a first hurdle is ICT access, and the second hurdle relates to content or format of ICT-enabled extension that's ill-adapted to women's challenges and preferences. So for women to participate, act and benefit from agriculture, there are some constraints that relate to information. They have an information disadvantage when it comes to extension information vis-à-vis their husbands, and women's roles as agriculture producers is rarely recognized. So we conducted a field experiment in Uganda, and we used 10-minute tablet-based videos demonstrating recommended maize farming practices to farmers. And we tested the effect of giving women direct access to ICT-enabled extension information, the effect of reducing information asymmetries between male and female decision-making in the household, and test the effect of including a woman farmer as a messenger and a role model of a successful female farmer in the videos. And so to test the effect of women as messengers and extension information, we had a version where the video had a female actor demonstrating the practices, where she could be seen as a role model farmer. We also had a version where a female and a male actor demonstrated the practices together. The control group was shown a video with a male actor. To test the effect of women as direct recipients of extension information, we either showed the video only to the female co-heads, so where she is given an information advantage, or we showed both the female and the male co-head the video, where we reduced the information asymmetry, and the control group is where only the man was shown the video. And we found that providing only women with the video-based extension information increased women's knowledge about the practices, their unilateral decision-making, adoption, and yield on the plots they manage. It reduced men's knowledge, so women did not pass the information to their husbands, and it reduced men's unilateral decision-making. When couples were shown the video, it increased women's knowledge, increased jointly decided adoption, and it reduced men's unilateral decision-making. There's limited evidence of effects of including a woman as a messenger and role model in the extension videos, but we see a reduced man's unilateral decision-making, so maybe more scope for women's involvement there. take-home messages. So there's a digital divide in access, but also in responsive design of digital technologies. And more research is needed on more gender responsive design of digital technologies. Then there's positive effects on agriculture income and profitability when extension services include both men and women. Inclusive extension has differential effects for mitigating shocks depending on the type of rainfall shock. Then ICT-enabled extension videos, overall, they have positive impacts on knowledge adoption and yields. They're relatively cost-effective. And when you provide women with direct access to such ICT-enabled videos, they are effective to empower women. We do need to keep the digital divide in mind, not only in access, but also in these responsive designs. And here we tested, for instance, role models, but there's definitely more gains to be made in a more gender responsive design of ICT-enabled extension service. Thank you very much.